All right, everybody, we are live, and hopefully this is streaming all across the universe, all across the internet. This should be out on Facebook, it should be out on YouTube, and it should be broadcasting live in our on our Backer Kit campaign page. We already have a couple of viewers. Welcome to the stream. Tonight we're going to play City of Skull, which is the newest expansion of the Mazes Fantasy Roleplaying system. And I'm going to do some explanation. Sean, CAS, and Jake are all people that have played Mazes before, but none of them really know anything about City of Skull, so that they can ask questions that hopefully are going to help you understand it back, you at home. And I want to let everybody introduce themselves, and then we'll talk a little bit about the stream. But before we do that, I'll start. My name is Chris O'Neill. I am the chief creative at Ninth Level Games. I am the creator of Mazes and the creator of City of Skull. And I have to give full credit to Patrick Clapp, who is my collaborator on City of Skull, because we're doing all kinds of new rules and things about how you play the game. And Patrick at this point is the person that has clocked the most miles running mazes. All right. Sean, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Sean. I am real excited.
Hi, Sean. Nice to meet you.
I'm real excited for this. I caught a stream that Chris did like a couple of years ago when this was just starting, and the premise is just got me so excited. I love mazes to begin with, and this world seems like it's going to be real cool.
Dope. Jake.
Hey everybody, I'm Jake. I own Alpha Mega Hobby in Boston. I'm also one of the hosts on Build Paint Play on Tuesday nights with Dave Taylor. We usually talk about like painting and miniatures and stuff. I've been gaming since I think like third or fourth grade. I was trying to figure it out the other day with a buddy of mine. I've known Chris for years. I got to test drive mazes the first time. It was you and me and Ben and your friend from Australia.
Our friend from Australia, yeah.
Yeah, like that was a good time. So when he asked me to do this, I was like, yeah, of course I'll do this.
Rock and roll. And CAS Taylor.
Hi there. I'm CAS Taylor, one of the co-creators of Women Are Werewolves and a number of other projects that
Great game, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I've kind of been friends with Chris since the beginning of the polymorph system. That's actually why we're friends. So I'm really jazzed to be here wrapping its latest iteration, and I'm excited to see how it plays.
Yeah, that's actually a super fun thing. Me and CS actually met at Metatopia running the earliest implementation of the polymorph system, and they were the first person to be like, hey, this is really cool. Tell me more. Instead of just being like, settle down, Chris, it's exciting, I get it, walk away. But besides tonight being a game of City of Skulls, we're actually also, I'm very excited. Let's see if this works. There we go. We are actually going to be running this entire game inside.
Shazam!
Jake's repping Dead Tree Media, and I'm going to show you all the latest and the greatest. This is an implementation of Mazes that is available on the Alchemy VTT platform, which you can find out more about at alchemyrpg.com. Mazes is a universe that is available. You can actually get the book. It has all the abilities. It is live in their marketplace. It's live on their site. And anyone that backs City of Skull is going to get free access. They're going to get a free copy of the Mazes VTT. And at some point, we will have the City of Skull content available as well. So this is the first time that any of us have used Alchemy. So we're probably going to trip over it a little bit, but that's okay. I think I know how to use it. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. What I do know is how to play mazes. So we're going to be in a good position. At that, is there any questions before we get into the game, my friends?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
All right.
go.
For those of you at home, if I am turning to look at the screen, it's because I got multiple screens and I got all kinds of stuff running. So, but let's talk a little bit, and we're going to talk a little bit about our characters in the world. City of Skull is a world that was it was once ruled by the elves. The elves came from some other place and went to war with the dwarves. And killed all the dwarves. And then they turned to the orcs and they killed all the orcs. And then they looked around and they saw elves. And they decided to kill all the elves. So they brought the doom to this world on themselves. They fought the dragons and the gods of old. They cast huge, horrible magics that eventually caused a perpetual eclipse. So this is a world where people try not to look up into the sky for too long because it will literally blind you. The three moons rise above the City of Skull, which is the last bastion of people. And here the goblins and the humans that survived in the gaps during the Great Wars have been able to eke out an existence in this horrible wasteland left behind by the witch kings of old elfdom, primarily because they're and according to the white church, the white temple and the red church, that there is a god living under the City of Skull, a sleeping god who the power and the majesty of this god is keeping not only the city alive, but is also creates anything that falls if it's not immediately burned, will rise up as the undead. And so it is a city with very strict rules that has come to be run by three large guilds. And most of the players that are going to be in this game are members of what's called the Guild of Black and Gold, which are the Adventurers Guild. They're the guilds that go out into the wasteland and bring back magical treasures, bring back even broken magic items from the ruins of the world that the churches use to control and feed and keep the sleeping god, happy. May the sleeping god never awaken, because we don't know what would happen. That being said, I'm going to introduce our first character, which is C.A.S. Taylor's character, who is called Kavaro Drakoi. Kavaro is a new class. This class is the Burning Heretic. So this is a world where the Red Church, the White Temple, basically controlled everything, and it recently had a splintering off with the Red Church. So you can think of it as like the Roman Catholic Church and the early Protestant Reformation. But you believe in older gods, the gods that the elves fought, and because of this, you have recently been arrested for heresy. So that is Kavaro. Udin Vast. This is Jake's character. This is he is a grim death stalker. You have stared death in the eyes many times in the waste, and yet you continue to go out there. You have some kind of death wish, and you have recently been arrested for some kind of murder. Where you guys are going to tell me why you have been arrested in these situations. But so we know one was arrested for heresy, one was arrested for murder, and Sean will be playing Enzolo Goldletter. So one of the interesting things, I think, one of my favorite, I should say, my favorite things with the City of Skull is it's a big city, and in my mind, it's kind of like, what would Venice look like if Venice was on top of a mountain, and instead of having canals, it was cracks in the earth. Cracks in the earth that possibly at the bottom are filled with the undead, but no one goes down there because no one comes back up. The city has a closed economy. As long as the adventurers are going out into the wastelands and coming back with loot, everything else is sort of contained and controlled by the guilds. So everything's pretty good. So it's a place of it's a place where there's a lot of leisure time for those that have money, and huge discrepancies between those the haves and the have-nots. So the people that live in the guilds, they have a lot of wealth. They have a lot of control. They can do a lot of things. And the people that are trying to keep themselves alive out in the wilderness, those that are living on the streets, are perpetually and always in danger. And because of that, there are a bunch of leisure time activities that have become very popular. Besides cards and role-playing games and all kinds of other things, one of the most popular is reading books about the exploits of adventurers. And so Sean's character today is a lurid scrivener, a writer that goes on adventures to find more and interesting things to write about. And your latest burner, so the little books that the writers put out, the little presses put out, are called burners, because they're often used by the burning parade as kindling. They're not really worth much more than a couple of reads before they're only good for kindling. But the details of your book showed a little bit too much information about the harem of the Guild of Rose and Iron and her many lovers. So she trumped up some charges that you are some kind of liar, and they've put you on trial. So I'll give you a little bit of time to think about it, and you can tell me what you think your crime is and how you have dealt with it.
I mean, that guy had it coming.
I think that Cavaro was caught immolating the, we'll say, choice loot that was to go to the top brass, the top, I don't know, the top echelon of
some church higher up that you destroyed before it was used in whatever practices the white church. Were you part of the white church or the red church? Were you an old school devotee or a new school devotee?
I think new school. I think red fits the vibe better, so we'll go with red.
So you were, you had been grown up, you'd been indoctrinated, you had actually literally joined the church, and now you have decided that there's more power and more truth outside of their rigid doctrines. And they caught you burning this, and they have sentenced you to the door to nowhere. Udin Vast, you said he deserved it, but what happened? Who did you murder?
So I had returned from treasure seeking, as I'm wont to do, and went out for a night of carousing, and ended up in the wrong house. And the man of the house came home and was surprised to find me a bed with his betrothed, and decided to pull a weapon on me. And in my drunken state, I didn't realize where I was, and I may or may not have kicked him out a window.
So that's an interesting
allegedly.
Before this cold-blooded murder of a man in his own home, you have been sentenced to the door to nowhere. And Zolo.
Look, I did nothing wrong. I merely wrote the truth. I'm being set up, and I will have my revenge.
Lies and calumny abound.
Everyone sort of nods and kind of pretends to not notice that maybe they read your book. One of the guards leading you to the door to nowhere says, I really liked your last one. I'm really sorry that you're not going to get to finish it. One of the unique capital punishments in the city of Skull is called the door to nowhere. So The elves and their Eldritch sorcery left portals that touched between the city and all kinds of their ruins, because the city of Skull was a meeting place for the magical and the most powerful amongst them. Usually what happens is portals are found out in dungeons, and traveling back for them bring you back into the city. But occasionally one is discovered somewhere in the city, and they have no idea where it goes or if it goes anywhere. And so criminals are pushed before them and led to it and politely asked to enter into this door to nowhere. And if they return to the city, they are forgiven of their crimes and allowed to go about their business for the information of where does this portal go to. So you are led before a series of tables. You are all dressed. You've all been, given access to bathe and shower and to clean up. You are brought before a allotment and assortment of weapons and gear. None of it is fashionable. None of it is interesting, but all of it is of decent guild quality. It's recently been cleaned and sharpened and is ready. So you may outfit yourselves as you feel necessary before you are pushed into a glowing door that sits in the lowest level of the chart house, which is part of the Guild of Midnight and Silver. These are the wizards and the thinkers, the smiths, the people that do most of the thinking work. The chart house is one of the guilds of that conglomerate guild that focuses most on the making of maps. And in one of their deeper map storage, an old map storage room, a portal that was unknown was found. And the guild would desperately like to know where it goes. So why don't you tell me what you're taking from the equipment piles, and then we will start at the door to adventure, which is classic Mazes activity.
Like a thurible?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
A large incense pot on a chin.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite.
They can double as a ball and chain.
Oh, yep.
A flaming. This is a true story. Once emptying the thurible for a bishop, I accidentally lit a rectory on fire. True story.
Wow.
Chris is also a heretic.
Well-known fact about Chris O'Neill. Chris O'Neill is a heretic.
A burning heretic.
A burning heretic, as the case may be. All right.
Do you take anything else or just a thurible?
I think I'll also take this very cool scorpion cloak that my character art has.
Oh yes.
But other than that, I think I'm good.
And as a character, you are lore-wise charming. You are lore-wise quiet and ardent.
I'm messing with alchemy. I'm trying to see if, like it says equipment, I'm trying to see if I can actually add equipment in there.
Yeah, you should be able to write whatever you'd like in the piece. Everyone else is seeing my view at home. So we do have a journal and the notes on the sides. You can put information. The journal is where our roles are going to find. We're going to find our roles. Notes is where information can be stored and contained. And chat is just chat that goes away. So the journal's persistent and the chat's not. So Kavaro's taking some robes and a thurible. And Zala, what kind of?
And Zala is sort of picking over things and settles with some very basic leather armor and a short sword and a little buckler, and and this notebook that was just sitting there.
Of course, as you get the notebook and there are some ink pens there, the guard that talked to you earlier comes over and asks if you would sign the latest burner of yours that he has. Gold letters.
He will happily sign it for a true fan. Keep reading. We'll get him. Don't worry. We'll be back.
Udin.
So being a Deathstalker and being used to being in the heart of danger, he is festooning himself with weaponry. I will grab something approaching a rapier, a short sword, a hand axe, like as many daggers as I can fit about my person.
Yeah, you fill yourself with knives, a couple of swords, an axe.
Yep. Yeah. And then I'll take some, I'll grab some like studded leather armor and like a bag full of like normal stuff, like a torch or two, a tinderbox, water skin.
They have standard black and gold adventuring packs for each of you.
Awesome.
This is what the black and gold does. They go adventuring. All of the things that you might normally think of would be in there. As a Grim Deathstalker, you are cunning, tough, and agile.
Sounds about right. That checks out.
As a lurid scrivener, you are keen, learned, and streetwise. Right. So let's do some alchemy magic here. So I can change the scene.
What?
And we are in a hidden location underneath Chart House, deep in the city of Skull. A member of the Guild of Midnight and Silver comes and unlocks what looks like an old wooden case that would be a thing that you would like store books and charts in. But when he opens it up, there is a bright yellow light, and you can see that the entire back of this old chest is literally a glowing door. We're gonna start at 1 darkness, since you have no treasure, since you are bereft of everything. And I meant to set up a tracker, and I will try to do that as we're doing things, maybe, to track that darkness, maybe. Maybe not, because I don't really know how to do that. I know there is a way to do that. Add a tracker. Who is the first? Everyone's been kind of nice to you at this point, but at this point you do realize that there are a number of burly people with sharp weapons guarding the only door into this room. And they're not going to leave until you've gone through this door.
I'll go first if no one else wants to. I'll draw 2 swords and I will step through the door.
All right. Who's Udin goes into the door and steps through it easily and disappears entirely. You hear no sound.
So Enzuolo wants to get every moment of the action down, and he will quickly follow through.
All right. Pen in hand, ready to rock and roll.
Bavaro takes a moment to light the incense, swing the thurible around a few times, and then steps through.
Love it. Go to the tools tab. I'm getting some information from Alchemy through our high-tech information systems. Go to the tools tab on the bottom right. The tools tab, and add a game tracker. That's great. So I'm going to add a tracker that is of pips. And I'm going to say there's 3 pips on it. Because this will be our bright tracker, and we currently have 1 darkness. I'm gonna call that darkness. Oh, this is pretty useful. It's a nice little game tracker we got there. We have 1 darkness. As we do that, on the other side, we're gonna switch to a new scene. And I don't know if the people at home can hear it. I hope they can. But for those of us in the Alchemy app, when I switch to this, there's background music that's already been associated with this scene, and I can control that music. If you have ambient sounds, you can add them as well, which I think is really cool. And it's going to put me down a rabbit hole as I look for ambient soundscapes for every possible thing.
So, Chris, can I ask an alchemy question?
Yeah.
So you make these scenes, right? Like that's your art.
So this comes in the Mazes pack.
Yeah.
You can add.
You can add like the particle effects we're seeing, like the fire and the little dust and
everything.
That's
you just click a button.
Wow.
That comes in the package. That comes in Alchemy.
That's
yeah. If you see this one has like little dots. We just had fire. Yeah, that's built into the system.
That's very cool.
This music happens to be our Mazes soundtrack by the amazingly talented team at Knoll. But you can buy that kind of stuff and all that. But it's part. The particle effects are part of the platform, and this is part of the Mazes module for Alchemy. So imagine there is a huge room, and Udin, you come jumping out of a giant door made of yellow magic. That is the only light in this room is coming from the door. But as you come jumping through the door, two large sconces of light with greenish fire. And you are standing on a platform. There are stairs down into what looks like a room that's maybe 40 by 40 feet, and you're against the back wall.
Is it square?
It appears to be roughly square.
Okay.
Moments, a few seconds later, gold letter pops through, and then the first thing you hear is the spinning whining of the thurible as Kavaro Dracoi steps in. And you are all in a room that you can see. You hear spitting and sputtering from the door, the portal behind you, and why doesn't someone who thinks they know something about portals?
I think Kavaro probably knows about portals.
You are. Why don't you make a
lore-wise, after all?
Yes. Why don't you make an advantaged books roll? And using the alchemy actions, you'll see that there's some that say with a key or some without. If you use the actions that say in typical mazes, a key's also a success if it's something your character could do. So this is something your character could do, so you can use the key.
All right, so I'm going to click on this Sentinel Key Books action here. And then I'm going to hit...
I think we should see it. Yeah, there we go.
I don't know if I rolled it at advantage, though.
I think you just would roll another one. roll 2 of them. There we go.
There we go. Wow, double fives.
This would actually tell you if it's successful for the stat you're rolling against. Tell you if it crowns, and it counts the keys as success. This portal doesn't match what you've been taught. You're especially, as you know, the red church and the white temple, they say a lot of things and don't back it up. This is real magic. This is the good stuff. This portal could have been standing here for hundreds upon hundreds of years. What would you like to do? Jake, I lost you.
That was weird. How about now? Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Is there a what is the floor made out of? Is it like worked stone? Is it tiles? Is it
it is rough. It is rough earth. You don't see anything growing from it, but you do see signs of insects and worms. This is deep earth. Like when I said that the room was roughly square, the walls looked carved but not worked.
okay? Are there any other portals or anything else, or is it just like a big room with the door behind us?
Oh, no, say that again. I'm sorry.
Are there any other like portals, like windows or doors or gates or anything in here?
On the other side of the room, you see what appears to be a stairwell cut directly into the wall. But otherwise, you don't see anything else in the room.
So at this point, I'll put my rapier away and I'll put my short sword away and I'll be like, I suggest we go this way since it doesn't seem like we have any other options.
Let us proceed.
Who's taking point?
Kavaro will stride forward, Thurible swinging from one side and then the other.
In a
incense coming behind them.
My training comes back to me. You let the thurible hit the chain so that it doesn't swing, and that way you can get to control the arc. As you are walking, as you get to the door, all of the light from the torches and the portal door is beginning to get very, very, very thin. There is more shadow than light. You can't see what's at the top of the stairs.
And Solo will take out a torch and light it.
You light a torch. As you light the torch, there is a shrill, shrieking noise, and what look like albino frogs with knives for heads come jumping down the stairs. Everyone make a boots roll to not be caught off guard. Yes. Oh, look, a little key comes up.
That's pretty cool.
They're like actually modeled right off of our dice. That's actually awesome. No, a boots roll, not a books roll.
Oh.
He's reading a book about boots.
That's right.
All right. It's currently it's currently still bright from a darkness perspective. So Udin and Enzalo are see these things coming, but one jumps directly into your face, Cavaro, and is going to strike at you with its spiky face. Give me a bones roll, or give me a blades roll, or give me a blades roll if you're trying to knock it away. Give me a boots roll if you're standing to it.
Oh, I think I'm gonna go with bones because I don't think I was expecting this. I'd love to knock it away with my thurible, but I don't think I'm that fast in this case. Where is bones? Where is bones? I don't see bones.
You might just scroll down.
Yeah.
You can roll if you hit the center D20.
Yeah,
You can just roll your die. Which I think is super cool because if you're in the middle of something and it's not working, you don't have to spend a bunch of time trying to figure out what to do. You can still just roll the die. The scourge frog slashes your face and it's going to do 2 damage.
Oof.
So you can actually click them down on your hearts.
Yeah, I can click on my my tracker here, and it looks like I can just adjust down by 2.
Yep. And I can actually show the people at home what that looks like. You have trackers, and you actually have stars and hearts, and this can actually go down. Oh, but showing the wrong person. The GM can actually look at everybody's stuff, and so we've actually lost some hearts there, and we don't need we don't need anything fancy. That's pretty good. All right. When the pale white knife-headed monster attacks, you see that the walls and the ceiling of the entire stairwell up are covered in these strange creatures. It is your all action. Oh, I can actually switch this to... I think that should change. It might change the music.
You can. I think you can add actions too. Like if you wanted to add skulls on yours, you could just scroll down under actions and add it.
Yeah, you can. You can add actions to your character, and you can create custom actions too.
Nice.
Yeah, I think Sentinel Bones is not set up as an action currently, so I'll see about adding that.
Interesting. I may have just missed it and not added it correctly.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, what do you guys want to do? There are a horde of pale, knife-headed frog monsters.
It's time to smoke these fools.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I'll grab some daggers off the harness that I'm wearing, and I will throw a couple of daggers and try to pin some of these frogs in place.
So you're trying to go for like a barrage.
Yeah. So it's just blades, I guess.
Yeah, it's just blades. Unless you want to spend one of your stars to do something more, big effect.
No, I was gonna say like I'll use my edge agile as I'm like turning around, like throwing as many knives as I can to try to stack them up. All right, so that'd be just blades.
So give me a blades roll. We could say that you would take disadvantage because you're trying to attack a bunch, but you're going to use agile to give you advantage. So it's just a straight up blades roll to attack multiple of these.
Now, do I use key blades because I'm using one of my edges, or do I just use blades?
Use key blades because this is something that you do. You're fighting a monster. And it's definitely your key counts. So you throw a bunch of your daggers, and these are just not weighted correctly. It's obviously not your fault. why you would just throw a bunch of cutlery into the hallway.
Who carries standard equipment? I mean, really. Well, the guild's craftsman and I will be having a discussion when I get back.
So this stairwell is swarming with these things. They're just everywhere.
They're just everywhere.
Yeah, we need to run. We got to get out of here. We're not gonna make it back if we try and fight every one of these. And I'm gonna start running up the stairs.
You're gonna try to run through it.
Yeah. Just go wave my torch around and run through it.
Give me a boots roll. What do you?
Vanguard.
You are lore-wise. Oh no, I'm sorry. You are keen, learned, and streetwise.
Yeah.
So I think this is just a straight-up boots roll. Man, you guys, we can't blame dice. This is the magic of the random number generator. You go tearing through, attempting to skip through. As you do, a number of the knife frogs just slash at you. You're going to take 2 hearts of damage.
Oop, that's wrong.
Pavaro Dracoy.
All right. One companion failed to attack. The other ran through and got injured. I think that Pavaro is going to grab onto Uden and try to just sort of like pull forward and use themselves as a bulwark against the frogs to follow Enzalo up the stairs.
I like it. Give me a bones roll.
Would this count as ardent?
Yeah, I think the fact that you're like, I'm just gonna bullhead my way through here and ignore all these frogs. I think that sounds ardent. So you can roll that with advantage.
All right. Hit that twice. 2 and a 3. I'm really not doing good with my bones rolls tonight.
It's 2s and 3s. I think that might be the RNG. No, we've seen a 6, a key. All right. I'm not going to blame the thing. The best part of this though is that you pick up Uden and you're moving through. You are also going to take 2 hearts of damage being slashed by the knife frogs. You are all on you're all now like in the stairwell that is just like filled with pale, sticky, floppy frogs that have knives for faces. It's absolutely gross. It's absolutely disgusting. Everybody make a blades roll because they're just flying all around you in a flurry of squamous. Squamous is just a good word. It's squamous blades.
So we're making a blades check?
Yeah, this is my action.
Okay.
You're being attacked by the stairwell. If you succeed, you take no damage.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I rolled a key, which means if it's something I would do, I'm okay. But I don't know.
I think you're going to take damage here.
Sounds good.
I think that you go on adventures, but you're not like you're in the thick of it. You know, you're there to like stick a knife in when the guy's down, but
right.
This is obviously going to be a really long section of your next book. This Lovecraftian stairwell.
The Stairway of the Knife Frogs.
I love that module. I'm going to tell Trek about Stairway of the Night Frogs. He's going to be like, I can write that. It's like some Dwarven Forge. I'll have to make some new miniatures for it, but what do you guys want to do? You are you do kind of get the sense that most of these frogs are just like potentially perpetually attached to this hallway.
I will disentangle myself and politely thank the dragon priest for carrying me up the stairs, and then I guess proceed. Is this like a straight staircase or is it like a?
Yeah, just a staircase up. You're in the middle of it, so you can start to see that there is some bluish greenish light, very light at the very top of the stairs.
I will advance to the top of the staircase, I guess.
Yeah. Now that you know how to avoid the treacherous nature of the fire swamp, you're able to like step your way through and step out of the stairwell.
Hey, Chris, how many cards did you want me to lose?
2. I'm sorry. The Pavaro or Enzalo.
Yeah, I'll follow after, trying to pick the same path through.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
All of you move to the top, and you see some of the frogs that are hanging, especially the older-looking ones, like stalactites, straining towards you with their bladed faces, but they don't seem that they can move much further, and only the smaller ones are really jumping around, and none of them seem to be going up towards you. You at the top of the stairs, you see
there's a skeleton rising, giving us the finger. That's
it's actually one of my absolute favorite pictures from the Mazes book.
Yeah, he's like, "Thanks for waking me up."
You see a large room. It is about every 6 feet. It's long. The room's maybe 20 feet wide, and about every 6 feet on each side, there is a square raised plinth with a stone coffin sitting atop of it. Hanging from the center of the very long room is a chandelier of crystals, and light of blue and green is shooting out through the crystals, leaving a constant kind of dance of different colors of light across all of the faces of the coffins. The far end of the room, it appears that there are 2 large doors of metal, possibly something silvery or shiny.
I mean, I've been to this nightclub before, so I will make my way down towards the two glowing chests at the end there.
The 2 glowing doors?
Yeah, the doors.
The shiny doors?
Yeah.
Are you walking down the center of the room?
I'm gonna use my inborn thief talents and sort of like stick to one side and kind of like, work my way to an alcove, kind of check in. Nope, no zombies. Jump across, work my way down the wall, rinse and repeat kind of thing.
Okay, give me a books check as you are carefully making your way down the side there. What are you guys doing?
I'd like to inspect these tombs, sarcophagi for markings, things that might place their time in history that they were constructed. I want to get a better sense of where we are, how old this place is.
Give me a books check with advantage. This is definitely in your burning heretic kind of mode. The Grim Deathstalker is walking. You very quickly see that there are most of the floor, unlike the portal room, this floor is finished stone. But there is a different color of stone surrounding all of the coffins than what the rest of the walkway is.
So I'm assuming that the crown that I rolled is due to my cunning. So I will after I take a couple steps, I will turn to my fellow travelers and I will say, something tells me we should stay on the tiles that are this color that I'm standing on. And then I will proceed to kind of like work my way down the hallway.
As you get close to the sepulcher or the coffins, you get that information from the Deathstalker. So give me your roll again. Now that you know not to get too close.
Just once or again at advantage?
Again with advantage. This is your...
Okay. Hey, there we go.
You do think that these definitely come from late in the wars of the dragons. Your cult teaches that the elves brought the war to the dragons after they were fighting amongst themselves. Some of them teamed up with the dragons, and others tried to subjugate the dragons. But so this is right, the mid to late period, like right before everything goes super bad, and they start to try to conquer the gods and pull down the sun. Which this
is from the super bad period.
It is from the not quite the worst, but still pretty bad. But at the height of elvish power, and that while those elves lived, they lived super long lifetimes. They could be killed, and they obviously interred them in places of power to continue to gain power from their fallen comrades.
This tomb may be part of some greater structure or mechanism meant to draw upon their power. There might be a place of great power somewhere in this structure.
Do you mean like the tombs are batteries for a power, or the tombs are drawing power?
I think that God will tell me if I'm wrong here, but I think the tombs are batteries for power, and
yes,
they're plugged in.
Yes, that you think that these might actually, be batteries of power by putting like a Witch King to rest in like a specifically designed box. You can serve us even in your death, my brothers in arms.
Sounds good.
What is Goldletter up to?
Goldletter is taking a moment to note down that whole bit about the batteries, and then following along on the correct colored tiles.
He is furiously making courtroom sketches of the whole room.
So it's real depressing. Goldletter, give me a books roll. You are keen, so give me that with advantage. As you've done your thing, and now you're walking down and you're looking at the you're trying to watch the floor.
Okay.
Dude,
I was loving that. I was loving that jam in the background. That was good.
Oh yeah, it's a great tune. It is cycling. I got to figure out how to get longer. I got to put together some like longer tracks so that it's not some seamless tracks. I'm very excited about the kind of things I can do musically in this space. You notice that about 2/3 of the way walking down the length of the room, just as Udin is approaching the shiny doors, you see that one of the stones in the main pathway is pushed in. And it appears to be the same color as the other one.
I will call out and what's wrong with that scone there?
You said it's the same color, Chris?
Yeah, it's the opposite. It's the opposite color. You like as you're walking, you notice that some of the stones on the floor are the same make as the ones around the battery graves. Grave batteries. But this one, the one that the Scrivener sees, it is like pushed in, like depressed.
I'll look around to see if anything else in the general area seems disturbed or offset. Like did doing this do something else?
You're pretty confident that you didn't do it. And, and Zalo is pretty confident that he didn't do it. It was already tripped.
Do we see signs of any other passage through here?
Looking around after you see the tripped stone, you do see
secret doors check.
That there is near the nearest sepulcher, there is a long primitive spear lying on the ground, and like hidden up against the hidden in the shadows. It takes a moment as the light from the chandelier it kind of hits it, and you see that that coffin's lid is slightly ajar.
Yeah, no, I've seen this movie. I'm not going over there.
Did one of them get out? Is it the undead?
So we're and again, just as a recap, we're all familiar with the undead because that like happens, right?
So everyone in the city of Skull is very familiar with the undead. The Draugr is a daily problem. Literally, if you kill someone, if someone dies, if something dies, if an animal dies, if a plant dies, and you don't burn it, when the dark moon, when the nameless moon rises, so will that thing. So literally the city has this thing called the Burning Parade, where they like walk around with burning torches and pikes every night, just in case things haven't been properly dealt with.
Got it.
It's one of the biggest crimes in the city is, it's not, if you kill somebody, that might be a crime. But if you kill them and you don't properly dispose of the body, that's
definitely
straight up a crime.
Got it.
And that also happens around the city. So like in the countryside, so where people don't see things. Like one of the most dangerous things is getting into or out of the city because the infestations of.
I like those. So theoretically, everybody is a potential necromancer, and I'm sure that like the town watch is constantly running around being like, Chris, I got to write your ticket. You didn't dispose your grandmother properly. This is an unlicensed necromantic being, so I got to write you a quick ticket.
This is great, you got in a fist fight with that guy, and then
I understand Grandma died last night, but you got to take care of this because now Grandma's going to be a zombie who's going to be wandering around the house. Like that's no good.
She ate all the livestock.
Yeah.
Because
now you have livestock zombies. That's not good.
Right. I mean, it's just it's just zombies all the way down. So
it's all bad. It's just domino zombies.
Trick and I have this theory. We don't have an answer, but so like there's these. We talked about. You guys all suffered one of the capital punishments. Another one is making you look at the sun. In a world with eclipse level, lasers that can burn and blind people. And another one is they just push you off the ledges into the like the giant holes that go into the depth of the city. I'm just gonna share everybody. That was Patrick Clapp is who we're talking about. Just said that, and the Sparta kick. Kicking people off. We don't know. It's like there might just be like a whole like horde of like mindless undead walking around at the base of all the pits. So
I like it.
But to come to this, yes, you are familiar with the undead. What you see here is you see a primitive looking spear, and the lid of the coffin is not super noticeable. I mean, you can tell that it's a jar. It's not like open,
right?
But
it is no longer sealed.
It is no longer sealed.
I will. Obviously, we all see that. So I will back away towards the doors, minding my footing, and I'll say, I'm not going anywhere near that thing.
I'm going to step forward and say, the only thing worse than the threat of danger is the threat of danger at our backs. And I'm going to step forward and open up the lid of the coffin.
You lift the coffin. I think that you can lift it based on how you described Kavar so far. You don't have any problem really pushing the lid of this. It is empty inside. You see that there are runes of very strange elven runes of all kinds inscribed on the inside here, but they don't seem to be radiating or pulsating any kind of magic.
It is empty and inert. And Zolo, you might find these runes interesting.
Yes. And Zolo, being a learned fellow, will come up and see if he can apprise a meaning behind their being carved here.
Give me a books roll. You are learned. You can take an advantage roll on that.
Oops.
Oh.
Here's what you know. You know that you don't know magic, but these are magical runes. They are not language. This is not a spell. To give you a modern sense, this is like a circuit diagram. This is like magical tracery. On real thing, you can see that there's a spot where a head would lie, and there's a spot where hands, like there's like runes that are shaped like hands, or you would put your hands down. Everyone give me a books roll. If you are keen, you can take advantage on that.
Can I use cunning?
No, this is definitely just about, do you hear it? I'll also accept quiet.
You said books, yeah?
Books.
Nope.
Do I get my key for this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You
I got one.
as you're looking there from beyond where Udin is standing near the doors, you hear a very faint rhythm, like the beating of drums in the far distance.
Drums in the deep.
I mean, it's just that nightclub all over again.
The question is it some kind of ritual or is it a party?
Which is technically a ritual if you think about it.
They are at my house. There's a sacrifice. There's magic potions.
Drinks were imbibed.
So, Chris, I'm down to 2 of 6 hearts.
Yes.
So if I go to 0, I'm on death's door.
Yes. Or you could take a condition now and refill all of your hearts and stars.
Can't you exchange a star to refill your hearts?
No. You can take a rest, which allows you to take one of the conditions and refill your hearts and stars.
All right. I don't think we're quite ready to rest, so I will press on, and we'll get to see one system or another. What would be a star that a lurid scrivener could do?
So, you're kind of like a thief, so it's about using your mind about what those situations. A lot of times you might use it in a social situation. We're here in the middle of a maze, so City of Skull as a setting has a lot more opportunities for that kind of activity. Maybe we'll see some of that coming up in a minute. So as there's an optional system in City of Skull where instead of using the aspects of sword and sorcerer and shadow, you're using the aspects that are what guild do you belong to, and so there's a different kind of set. So as a member of the Black and Gold, the Adventurers Guild, or as a member of the Midnight and Silver, the kind of like Sages Guild, or the Rose and Iron, who are the Warriors Guild, would be kind of a different look too. So, I've been thinking a lot about the Scrivener as like your biggest play would be just you come up with some ridiculous idea that doesn't sound like it would actually work. The literal like, oh yeah, and then I jump out the window and there just happens to be a bale of hay out there. I just think that's a fun way to play a writer that's a pulp writer that's running around after a bunch of adventures. You're at the silvery doors. In the distance, you can hear the pounding of drums. It's a rhythmic beat.
Those of us who made that book's roll, what was that for?
It was to hear if anyone heard the drums.
Hear the drums. Cool.
I will take the lead.
Did you hear that?
Yes. I think that the dead walk here, and we are about to meet them. Prepare yourselves.
Are you opening the door?
I open the door.
Down a long hallway.
This party sucks.
Just come to hang out?
Down a short but wide hallway. You see that there are torch sconces that have been erected on the walls that are made from the skulls of what look like large lizards. There is obviously people primitive people living here in this space. There are makeshift beds and tables, things like constructed that are all just thrown together. There is the detritus of food. You see blood stains on the floor. Nothing, nothing overly dramatic or crazy. And you see that there are vines that have been tied together into rope ladders, leading up from the corner up to a large metal grate. And above the grate, you can feel wind from outside.
Is the sound of the drums coming from above us through that grate?
The sound of drums is coming from above. And now that you're closer, you can hear that there's also some singing, very light, which appears to be in Elvish, which to all of you is a sound ominous and strange.
The only way out of here is the grate, right?
That you see. There are... it looks like there may have been another stairwell that is been filled in with rocks, and then now covered over and with like sleeping pieces. It's like become like an alcove that is being used as a large bed. The only visible way out is a portcullis or a grate. I guess a portcullis is in front of a door. Grate is over a hole. It's a grate.
Do we want to climb up the vine and go out through the grate, or do we want to check the other door and see where that goes too?
Yeah, Kavar, you were about to say something.
Oh yeah. I assume that the undead are not known for speaking or singing in this world. In this
the Draugr are
huge into musicals.
Broadway is deadly.
Yeah.
There are undead. There are intelligent undead, liches and vampires and those kind of things. But the Draugr that you're familiar with are, fast shamblers.
They're all undead playwrights.
They start out. The Draugr start out as zombie-like things, and then their flesh falls off, and then they're clattering bones, and eventually they're just crawling around, skeletal hands and chopping skeleton jaws. But you are familiar, and your religious background would definitely teach you that the elves were masters of necromancy and all of its vile powers.
There are more than Draugr here. Something greater sings above us. I agree we should check the other door. I don't want danger at our backs.
We will carefully back out of this room and open the other door.
The door back into where you came from?
Yeah, because you said there was two doors.
Did you mean a double door?
Oh, no, there were two doors.
Oh, okay.
There were two doors into this room. There was two.
I misunderstood. I thought there were two doors.
No, there was the other way. The other way out of this room would have been a stairwell going up that has been filled with detritus.
Cool. One option. We will, I guess, scale the vines.
Maybe we should take a breather here before we proceed.
We can, if you guys need the rest, we can rest.
I certainly do.
Of course, we will take a short rest.
Well, okay. So remember, it's not D&D, so there's no short rest. but you have as a player, you have the option to take a rest, and then you're going to take one of the conditions. So you're either going to become stressed or tired, or hurt, and then refill your hearts and stars. And I think inside Alchemy,
It's on our character sheet.
let's see. I'm going to try to bring up Gold Letter's character sheet so that the people at home can see it. You can add a condition. You can take one of these conditions and then reset those values. You can't take marked. You don't need to take. You can't take down marked or wounded. They're caused by activities. So you can become stressed, tired, or hurt.
Well, I think he's hurt. He's all cut up from those.
You're starting to feel the effects. They're frog wounds.
Yep.
Which sounds like a metal band.
Yeah, so I'll take hurt, and then I will refill my hearts.
I'm
Sort
only
of
down.
tend to them with the medical supplies in our adventurer guild backpacks.
I'm only down 4 out of my 10 max hearts, so I'm not sure if it's worth healing myself.
Yeah, I don't. Mechanically, I think you're still in a very good position.
Yeah, so I think happy to rest for Udin's sake, but I'm going to. Kavaro's going to not rest and remain active, sort of pacing around the room.
So, Inzalo has become hurt, and is dealing with that. So you're going to be disadvantaged on blades rolls, but you are otherwise filled back with hearts. All right, what do you guys want to do?
I will scale that. I will scale that vine, I guess.
Give me a boots roll. You are agile, so you can do that with advantage.
All right. Is that just key boots, or do I have to do it twice?
You have to do it twice, right? And there is a way to do. The easiest thing I think to do is just do 2. And I would do key because this is obviously something you can do.
I think you can change the.
I'll bring up your character sheet so everyone can see it.
Well, I mean, I have it, but I'm using the edit. I'm trying to see if I can make it so it's 2 dice.
If you can,
Yeah, it looks like you can.
Yeah,
Under dice
edit,
pool,
and I think it's down the bottom. Add. Oh no, it's not add dice.
No, right under use attribute and skill, there's dice, and then there's a number that you can change.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. So I'll do 2. Let's see if this works. It did not. Okay.
Hey.
There we go. But I'll have to change it back, obviously.
Yeah. Well, we'll take that back to our friends at Alchemy, and they'll get some feedback that they're looking for, and get some new functionality. But this is a great roll because this is a critical success. You're able to slide yourself quickly up the ladder, and you can see that the grate is partially open, and from your vantage, you're able to see out into the swirling, dusty night in the salt waste, and there is a group of lizard folk wearing a collection of ancient clothing, dancing around and beating on drums, surrounding what appears to be a man. You can't see his face. A broad-shouldered person with long black hair and a cloak that is made of green and gold ribbon. Very majestic, very over the top. It looks like a performance outfit. And that person is staring into the night sky, singing in Elvish.
I'm assuming can I squeeze through where the grate is open?
Yes. It's open enough that a full size person can get in and out.
All right, so I will slide through, and then I'll look back down, and I'll go like this. I'll go, and I'll hold up a certain number to equal however many lizard people there are.
You think there's at least 6 of them.
And then I will like slide away. Is there anything near me? Is there any like underbrush or like refuse or like a boulder? Or...
So you are out in the wastes. There are rocks. There's broken remnants of whatever building was here. That everything you've been in the underground part of some building that was here. So there's columns that are broken down, and it's deep in shadow because it is during the light of the nameless moon. So it's almost dark. It's almost completely dark outside, except for the brightness of the stars and the light coming from the torches that some of the lizard folk have. So there's dancing shadows and so there's plenty of places for you to hide.
Okay, I will slide behind a column or something that's close enough to the grate that I can see them, but far enough away that I'm not drawing attention to the grate.
Okay.
I'm going to follow up stealthily because we've been indicated that there's stuff going on and we should be quiet. And I actually have the quiet aspect, so...
Give me a boots roll with advantage.
All right. Success.
Nice. You have moved. You pull yourself up the handmade ladder and pull yourself through without creating any sound. Once you're clear, what do you want to do?
I think I'll take note where Uden is, and I will move behind a different pillar, sort of spreading out a bit.
Okay. Kavara moves themselves into behind a different set of broken stone with a different sight line to the ritual in progress. Or the party, whatever it might actually be.
Word.
In Zalo.
Follow suit.
Give me a boots roll.
Streetwise does not affect this, so I don't get it.
You know what? I mean, Streetwise is like really doing crimes, so you've definitely climbed, I'll take advantage on that.
Some second floor work.
Yeah. Mostly getting away, apparently, from somebody's spells. Yeah, you move out very easily. You climb up and you climb through. You don't make a sound. Where do you want to be when?
I would like to find some place where I could be sort of obscured from the lizard folk, but able to get a better look at that figure in the center.
So you're kind of going around?
Yeah.
Right. That's good. So you're kind of going the long way, going out, circling around, trying to get a look at the person in the center. And cinematically, this is a great place where, the camera slows down as you like move past a broken wall, and as you come around the wall where it breaks, where you can see his back and his long black hair and his blue and gold or green and gold mantle, and you come around, you see that his face is just a glistening skeleton with eyeless sockets staring into the sky. His jaw clicking and clacking, but the sound coming out is this melodious yet just chilling. Just it chills your soul to hear him intoning these words of some ancient elvish spell. And you can see the pitch and the sound of the music is getting louder and faster.
He's performing Love Gun by Kiss.
Well, we found our battery. I will try to quietly get back to the closest of my compatriots.
Okay. What's everybody want to do?
I will tell them what I saw, and that I think this is the thing that was in the crypt that was freed by the lizard folk.
I will defer to the priest. Like, do we try to take this guy out? Do we try to put him back in the box? Like, what are we doing?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, I guess
Your cult is definitely anti-elf.
okay, so I want to fuck this guy up. I had a feeling, just want to confirm, but destroy or back in the box, what would be like?
It depends, and this would kind of be up to you as a person, right? Like, so, like, destroy, obviously positive, right? This is a being of evil from the past, but your cult is like, oh, the old gods are powerful. The elves dealt with them. This is a way. So if you're more like, do the right thing, destroy the ancient evil, or do the right thing and use the ancient evil to advance power.
I mean, we could always kill him again and put him back in the box. Like, I mean,
yeah, these two things aren't mutually exclusive.
They're not mutually exclusive.
Maybe that would bring the portal back online.
Maybe.
Good point. We need to stop this, and we should destroy the skeleton, the evil elf skeleton.
There's two things I hate. It's elves and skeletons, and this guy's both. Chris, is there a way that I could climb up the ruins of this building to get like sort of like an advantage to be above them, or is there like an outcrop or something?
I mean, there's definitely some parts of the ruins that are big enough that you could get above. Yeah.
So, I will tell my compatriots I'm going to try to get from an advantaged viewpoint above, where I can like launch myself over the lizard men onto the elf skeleton. When that happens, like, all hell's gonna break through.
I will be ready for your signal.
Give me a boots roll to climb up, and get close enough that you think you can jump safely.
Okay. Why can't I? That's weird. Why can't I see this?
You can do advantage because you're agile.
All right. I'm just gonna roll it twice instead of doing the fancy one. So there's one, and There's a second one.
Oh,
What the hell? All right.
You climb up and there is your foot moves some debris and a piece of rock falls, and the needle scratches. The beat stops for a minute, and all of the lizard folk turn and intruder, Harrier, and 3 of the 6 break off and head towards the pile of rubble that you're ascending.
All right.
So Cavaro and Zalo, what would you like to do?
is the skeleton elf still chanting? Like, has this fully interrupted the ritual, or is the ritual?
The elf hasn't turned around. He is. It is still singing.
Dude, get him. I'll take care of these clowns. Like,
all right, yeah. I'm going to try to actually slip away from where Udin has fallen, so that I can rush for the elf skeleton.
Yeah. Give me a boots roll for the rush, and are you just trying to rush him? Is that? Are you trying to knock him down, or are you trying to attack him?
Let's see. I think I'm trying to get out of like the threat of this current situation. So if that doesn't need a roll for itself, I can go straight for the elf skeleton.
Yeah, you can get out. You can go right for him. You think that a couple of them have broken off, so
gotcha.
You will put yourself in the line of their fire, but
sure. In that case, I would like to clutch the chain of my thurible, swing it around a little bit more violently this time, and as I do so, can I have just like fire spread from my hands down the length of the chain and ignite, like fully envelop the end of the thurible so that I have a burning chain in my hands?
You are a like sorcery type character, even if you're not a magic type character, or you know what I mean. You're not a magician, but you have. So if you want to spend a star to engulf it in basically it's a ball of flame. Yeah. I like the idea that like. A thurible, you would be. This is normally how you would deal with it, and then the next thing would happen is you would kind of just like let this little kink out. So then you would be like, you'd be swinging it like this, and then the next thing is just to then like, swing it like a hammer in the Olympics. Yeah. And then you like pivoting on your heel with this fireball.
Yeah, and I think with each one of those swings, the fire spreads down the chain until it's engulfed the end of the thurible.
I love it. You charge at the skeleton with you're going to spend a star to engulf it in flame. Give me a blades roll.
Hell yeah! Come on, blades. That's not blades.
And that is not. You are a sentinel. You're a D10, so that is
not a crit either.
One of the lizard folk gets in the way and deflects your fireball with a bone axe, like an axe carved from some other creature's bone. And Zalo.
So I want to try to get the attention of the other 3 lizard people so that Caro can do what they do best.
That sounds like a great star spend for a scrivener. Basically, just you're going to grab their attention. They're going to follow you.
Yeah, I just want to like lead them on a chase around, like through the ruins.
I like the idea of thinking of the writer as basically like a bard, but without the bard minus trying to hit people with a guitar.
Yeah.
It's like, you idiots. You pop out from the rubble, and the other lizard folk are like, more Harriers, and they charge at you, creating an open space. So there are now 3 lizard folk focus on the Deathstalker, 3 focus on the Scrivener, and the Elven wizard continues to chant their failed magics. For the first time, you begin to see that there is a kind of a shimmering line almost all around the lich's body, kind of a gleaming, a glittering that is getting larger and pushing away from it.
I would assume that with the 3 lizard men trying to climb up the rubble that I'm on and like tripping over each other, and then 3 other lizard men chasing him around the forest, the elf changes his tune, so now he's singing yakety sax while this is happening. Just to help the ambience. I mean, obviously the ritual is still completing, but he is.
We attacked an undead lizard folk ska band in the middle of a dark wasteland. So the first set, there is one of the lizard men gets to Udin Vast and attempts to strike you with a spear. Give me a blades roll to save against it if you're going to engage them, or a boots roll if you're going to try to get away.
Well, boots has not been my friend, so we're going to stick with blades. And I'll use tough as my ability. So we'll do.
Yeah, tough doesn't come into play here.
Tough. My other one, I can't. For some reason, I can't open my character sheet.
Oh, really?
Oh wait, now I can. There we go.
Tough gives you saves against death's door and healing and everything. So basically, anytime it's down to you. Can I
use my agility?
I mean, in this situation, I don't think so. I think it's just straight up blades.
Really? Okay. All right. So blades.
There you go.
Sweet.
The other set are just chasing. Give me a boots roll, Udin, to stay one step ahead.
Wait, me?
You mean Inzalo?
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Inzalo. They are catching up to you. They are at your heels. And we will call that the round. So it's up to you guys. You guys have your the last thing that happens is the Elven Lish stops singing, and there is a sharp crack of magic, and you can now see this expanding shape around them is beginning to brighten, and he slowly turns around towards you, Kavaro. Now it is all y'all's action.
Smoke that fool.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring the flaming thurible around for another pass and send it streaking for this guy's face.
Because it is a flame, I'm not going to do it at a disadvantage from its magical shielding. So just a straight up blades roll.
All right, come on, blades. That's another 8. Damn it.
The elven lich laughs at you. A mocking, sardonic, ha ha ha.
So because I'm like halfway up this little ruin or whatever, am I far enough away now that I've deflected that first lizardman strike? Can I turn and launch myself off of it towards the elf? Or am I
sure.
Okay. So I'm going to ignore the lizardman. I'm going to turn around and launch myself off with my short sword and my rapier and try to like land on the elf.
Give me a
like Death Dealer style.
Give me a blades roll with I mean, you're agile, so we'll take advantage on this as you jump down.
All right, so I'm gonna edit this time. We'll do 2 dice. Oh no, that's boots. Hang on a second.
I do say I really like from a digital play space the fact that the numbers are just here and they're big and they're easy to read. I don't just think it looks like a chat window.
Yeah.
I think with there's obviously a level of learning curve about getting all the little intricacies. I'm really interested to see what kind of weird stuff I can make happen.
That's odd. It won't let me fix it like I did last time. That's right. I'll just use it. Here's the first one. Oh no, it didn't work. Okay, there we go.
Nice.
One success. Roll for effect.
Fighter effect.
I really want to see one explode. I want to see you do. You jump down and just manage to rake your rapier across his skeletal body that's wrapped in these like as you're now this close, you can see that like the lizard men have like built raiment from things they found in this dungeon for their elvish undead lord.
I make a mess of that.
Yes. His fashion sense is offended by 2 points.
I'm going to try to change directions real suddenly and like scramble up on top of some ruin.
Trying to
put some space between us.
Build back the lead you had.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me a boots roll with advantage because again, running away from people is about the streetwisiest streetwise thing there is. All right. You've actually confused them. So they fall back. You hear them speaking to each other in a guttural but recognizable form of the common tongue of Skull. But they're, where did it go? Harriers! One of them yells, for Mordok!
Ooh.
Zelda makes a quick note.
Piece of paper on the inside of the platform.
They're going to spend their time trying to climb up to where you're at. The 3 that you jumped over turn and run back to defend their undead master. I'm going to say 1 attacks Kavara. If you want to give me a blades roll. And 2 of them are going to attack Udin Vast.
Come get some.
All right. Two blade saves, please.
All right,
Mr. Vast.
First one.
The second one you're going to take 1 heart of damage from. So he stabs at you with his primitive spear.
Got it.
The elven lich steps over where he had been slashed at by Vast and moves towards Cavaro, seeing the robe bearing the mark of an old god. And the Lich says to Cavaro, kneel before your new master, servant of the Eightfold, or die. You feel you feel yourself being magically influenced. Give me a bone save, but you are ardent, so I'll take that with advantage.
Okay.
You definitely feel that this is being forced on you.
Yeah, that's 2 successes.
You literally roll me an effect roll.
Right.
You brush aside. Oh man, for a moment. There's like almost like the hypnotic pattern in his eyes as he's like forcing you down, and it looks to you as if you had physically slapped him. You knock him back. He is stunned for a moment from the ridiculous effrontery from your ardent belief in a god that is not Mordok himself. It is your turn.
I'm going to say, I'll show you how I kneel, Lich. And I would like to surge forward and try to wrap the chain around his neck and pull down to one knee as I try to garrote him.
I love it. Give me a blades roll with advantage because he has been staggered by your refusal. The refutation of his magical power.
That's 1 success. That's 1 success.
You wrap around him. Give me an effect roll as you try to pull him to the ground, and flames begin to catch into. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
The lizard men around you all begin to hoot and holler, save the master! You have definitely done some damage to the Lich.
Gotta like this elder Lich, living like a hobo with 6 lizardmen attendants. He's like, I used to run the world. Now I'm the night manager to McDonald's. Like,
I've seen that anime.
he's like, things have taken a turn.
I would watch that anime.
It's called The Devil is a Part-Timer.
Oh,
if you do actually want to watch that anime.
Note it. What is our Deathstalker up to?
So if the lizardmen are gonna, it looks like she's got a handle on the elf skeleton. So I will do my best to put myself in between her and them and the skeletons.
Hey.
And I will turn my blades on full and attempt to Cuisinart the lizard folk.
Okay.
Can I do a?
You could spend a star to attack them all.
I'll do that. I'm going to spend a star. Let me make this. I do like that everything's like adjustable on the sheet. All right, so spend a star. And then do I make an attack on each of the 3 that are near me? Because there's 3 that are chasing him somewhere else. So do I make an attack on each one?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
Normally when you're spending a star, I would just have you roll for damage. But since you're trying to attack 3 things, spending the star to have the multiple attacks sounds super reasonable.
Okay. And now, can I use my edge of agility as I'm dancing around trying to get all 3 of them, or would that not be allowed?
No, I think this is just straight up attacks.
Okay, all right. So
just a lot of them.
Here's the first one.
Well, that is actually a success.
Second one.
Hell yeah.
That's also a success.
Third one.
Also a success. So now roll 3 effect rolls, 3 damage rolls.
3 effect rolls. All right.
I don't know why the
1.
Oh, I guess it's because it needs to be the key.
2.
I got it.
3.
2, 6, and 4.
Yep.
You chop the heads off of 3. You go into like the Conan Web of Death mode, and as you spin from one to the next, slaying each of the lizard folk in turn.
Nice. Wait, Conan's a different IP. I go into the Deathstalker frenzy.
Completely different, unrelated.
Totally different.
You're not Deathstalker. You're a Deathstalker. Yeah, that's your class.
Right. But it's a different IP.
Yes. And Zolo, you are on top of some debris. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing the same thing as they get them to keep following me and occupy them.
You're kicking rocks down at them. 2 of them have decided they pick up their compatriot and they throw him up at you.
Okay.
Give me a blades or a boots save, depending on boots if you want to try to deflect them, blades if you want to try to,
So you said boots if I want to get out of the way, and blades if I want to deflect it?
Correct.
All right, so I'll do a boots.
You jump. You jump out of the way, and he lands pretty heavily at your feet.
It's like we were kids. We were throwing my cousin into the pool. So one guy grabs him by the legs, one guy and they throw him sideways at you, and you jump out of the way.
Right, and your cousin just lands next to the pool instead of in the pool.
He gets the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, cries and runs home. The next thing you know, you have to explain to your mom why you threw cousin Jeffrey at the pool instead of into the pool.
Listen, if Jeffrey wasn't so fat, he would have made it into the pool.
The Mordok is fighting against you and tries to lift you up. There's fire that's tracing around his primitive mantle. He says, "If it is fire that you want, it is fire you shall have," and brings his hands together and releases green flame around himself and you. an explosion of flame through. Give me a bone save at disadvantage.
Got it. Come on. Ooh, well, that's a crown on one of them.
Yeah, the 10's a success, but this is with disadvantage, so the 2's going to be a fail. So this is going to fail. You are going to take 4 damage. He is also going to take 4 damage. His raiment falls to the ground in fire and flame. He stands there, and he steps up and stands from you like a skeleton just burned. There's a cleaned in the flames of his evil, and reaches down to the ground and picks up the bone axe of the one fallen lizard man whose head is laying on the ground. It is your actions.
I'd like to kick this guy back onto his friends.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a bones roll because you are trying to force him. But I'll give you a streetwise as kicking a guy while he's down. Again, sounds very much a thing that we do in the streets.
You're like, sorry about this, Jeff.
Oh. My client everything just died.
Everything just died. Everything just exploded.
On Alchemy, it says his character is offline.
Yeah, it just says we're having trouble connecting to your game.
That seems weird.
I can go back. Join the game. All right.
Now you're back.
Now I'm back. So bones roll with advantage.
Yeah, so you get another roll in there. Perfect. You kick him. Roll for effect to start with.
All right. Vanguard effect roll.
See the damage that you cause him.
Wah, wah.
And then he falls down and knocks the other 2 to the ground, causing the same amount of damage in the fall. Poor Jeffrey at the base is crushed under. His other friends, or the other 2, are both damaged. But you have managed to kill at least one lizardman by kicking his friend off the top of the structure. Udin, Kavaro?
Do you want to go after the lich first? Like, do your thing, and then I'll...
Actually, Crow's going to say, can you hold him down?
Probably not. My character's not particularly strong. I will...
I mean, you're not strong.
That's true. I will attempt to... Since I obviously I'm a duelist, I will attempt to do some sort of disarming strike where I will swing high and try to decapitate him. And if I get him, great. But if he ducks, I will then tangle his legs and knock him down.
Give me a blades roll at disadvantage. But if you don't hit, you can then try to knock him over.
Okay. Disadvantage. So 1.
Just need to hit again.
2.
Just
Yeah.
Roll for effect.
All right.
You plow into him, spinning around and chopping the head clean off the elvish lich. It falls to the ground. The 2 remaining lizard men scream and run into the night.
And once the head is on the ground, Kavaro is going to open the thurible and dip their fingers into the ash of the incense inside and draw a holy symbol or rune upon the skull of the witch.
Sure, you draw the scorpion from your outfit on, and you see the green flames in it begin to dissipate.
I was worried it was a fumble. I was going to try to like dive on the head for like it gets picked up by one of the lizard men.
After the fight, you manage to put some things together, and you find some magical debris from within this tomb, and you set off across the wastes until you encounter an adventuring company that help you get back to the city, where you are absolved of your crimes, and the information is given to the Guild of Midnight and Silver about the location, so that this newly found maze can be properly attacked by the guilds. And that was a nice 2-hour introduction to City of Skulls. I enjoyed those characters. I thought y'all did a fun job of bringing them to life. I was pretty happy with playing on Alchemy. If I wasn't trying to balance a stream, I think I would have been more tinkery. Like, I think I would have been able to play around a little bit more. So I'm interested to see how that goes.
I think there's a lot of macro potential with those actions that they have set up. I was trying to get the bones roll set up for the Sentinel. It seemed a little more fiddly than I wanted to devote my attention to on stream, but it was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple of things I can give some feedback to the Alchemy team on from really getting a chance to play it. Things that looked right when you're just like but in an actual live game where you're like, oh, well, you know what? It could just do that. And that would, I thought that was really kind of cool. So
yeah, if they just made like an advantage, disadvantage, like toggle.
Yeah.
Because once Sean said I was able to go in and switch it from 1 to 2.
Yeah.
It doesn't save it. So if you could just be like, oh, this dice at advantage,
right.
2 dice. And then if it's a disadvantage, the worst dice matters. If it's advantage, the better dice matters. But even if there was just a quick toggle or something.
What's super
disadvantage?
Disadvantage. You just need advantage. I guess you want both because it depends on how it reads. But you can do all this stuff like CAS, as you were saying, like the fact that there's macro potential, all that stuff is stuff that you can do. This is completely ready for 5th edition. There's a bunch of other game systems that are on there, especially like Free League and there's like Vassin and the stuff from Hit Point Press, and there's a lot of really good games that are fully fleshed out. Mazes is brand new and just coming around. We got this is actually a note from our friends over at Alchemy. Yeah, advantages, something we have to hard code into the action right now. We plan on getting that work a bit easier.
Cool.
One thing that's really cool is that basically they created a system to make systems. And then we're able to just implement mazes with the system implementation tool. Just kind of how we make games with Polymorph, where Polymorph is a system to make systems. So mazes is an implementation, and it's a similar thing. So really excited to see what we're going to get. But again, thank you all. I thought there were some great moments in there. I was very excited. Corinne, when you were just like, oh no, I'm definitely I definitely want to look in there. Even if I knew there was something, I was like, that's correct. That's the right thing to do. And Sean, I really loved. No, I just want their attention, and I'm just going to. And Jake, I like the fact that it doesn't matter. You're like, no, I really, all I really want to do is jump off the top of the highest building with swords at this guy, and I will find a way to make that happen.
It had to be done.
It had to be done. Had to be done. I also like when you were like, no, man, I've been in this nightclub before. There's definitely no reason to look inside sepulchers. Because as a player, I have killed many parties that I've been a part of because I've been like, there's probably something in here, you know. If we just, look at what's in this one. Oh, Death. Death was in that one.
Like, so the way I was looking at it is I'm like, okay, look, if that's, I was trying to play my characters as if it's me in that instance, and I'm like, okay, if we're making our way through a sepulcher or a funerary mound or whatever, and there's a bunch of like coffins or sarcophagi, I'm like, we're not opening those. And whenever he's like, why? I'm like, it's either a dead guy or a not dead guy. Like,
or it's treasure.
They're both bad. I don't want a part of either one of them.
If I played every game as if it was just me in that situation, every game would just be like, man, that's really far.
You're like, can we get an Uber there?
We got to go up these stairs. Are you sure? We
have to take the ring to Mount Doom. I'm just going to get a lift.
I would also watch that anime. I saw a great meme today that was my uncle, parentheses, man, 111 years old, close parentheses, gave me this ring, man, 50 years old. And our friend, man, 700 years old, said that the jeweler was a really bad dude and we should definitely not have this. But I really like the ring and I think I should keep it. What do you think I should do? I was like, it's really good. It's really good. Our friend, 2007 years old. So, if you are watching this right now, and a bunch of you have watched, thank you for watching. If you are watching this in the future, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're watching this on Facebook Playback, you're watching this on our campaign page, City of Skull is available on our backer kit right now. There's still some new things that are coming, but everybody that backs the project will get access to the Alchemy package for Mazes that is now available. Or if you're just into Mazes or you're just into something, you can go to Alchemy directly. You can go to ninthlevel.com. You can buy all the books. You can do all the things. And once again, thank you to Sean, to Jake, to CAS for spending their Thursday night letting me try to kill them with knife frogs and elven liches and lizard folk savages. That's the right word. Scavengers. I was about to call them scavengers. This is the right. That's what I was trying to get. Thank you all. This was super fun. Again. Also, if you are going to be at the Origins Game Convention, definitely check us out. We have a lot of events. Mazes to Midnight is already sold out, so you can't get into that big giant game. But there's lots of events going on. There's lots of things. Come out, see the City of Skull miniature demo that we have at our at our booth. That's going to be great. And if you're not going to be at Origins next Saturday, the 23rd, is that right? That's not right. 23rd sounds next Saturday. Last Saturday in June. It's free RPG day. Get out to your local game store like Alpha Omega and check out all the cool free stuff, actual free stuff on free RPG day. From 9th level, you have the free RPG day Return to Dark Tower. It's a ready to run, no prep adventure. You can sit down with your friends there in the store and play a great adventure and check out our anthology for level 1.
They can also see you in 2 months at San Diego Comic-Con.
They can see me in. They can see my alter ego, Yeet the Kobold, at San Diego Comic-Con, or you can see me there. You can find me on the internet at All Hail King Torque or at 9th Level Games. Anything. If you guys want to tell the folks at home where they can find you and what you're up to before we sign off, Jake.
I was gesturing towards Sean, but sure.
Oh, yes. I don't really have anything.
So you can find me online at alphamegahobby.com. Like, that's our website. You can check us out, Build Paint Play on YouTube. I will also be at San Diego Comic-Con doing painting lessons, so feel free to swing by and check it out. If you want to paint up cool minis to play in person, because you can definitely play skulls and mazes and all kinds of good stuff face to face.
CAS.
I'm not super active on socials, to be honest. You can find me at Actual Midground on Twitter if you want to. But more importantly, check out Women Are Werewolves and check out Project Home by my design partner, Women Are Werewolves, Julian, as well as Doug Lewandowski. I did one of the expansion packs for that game most recently, so check out The Cage for Project Home.
Nice.
Sean.
Yeah, I'm only on Discord.
Sean's like, I'm just a guy.
I'm an old dude.
He's like, I'm just on MySpace. Tom's still in my top 8.
And say hi.
Everybody, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part. Everybody here, awesome. Good night.